Welcome to Newsmakers. My name is Sean Smith. I'm the Assistant Director of Community Relations for Chesterfield County Public Schools. Joining us today, Joel Hughes. Welcome to you, Joel.
Thank you.
It's great to have you with us, and obviously for our viewers out there, you do some very important work in the school division, and obviously you work closely at the Juvenile Detention Home. Tell us about your work there, if you would.
Well, I'm the health and physical education teacher at the Juvenile Detention Home, and I've been there for 16 years. And so I work with our students that come to the detention home. And unfortunately, some of our students have gotten in trouble with the law, and so they have to come to the detention home, and we have a full educational program there. And my job is to educate them on health and physical education.
And obviously with that work there, we want to have you on here amongst many reasons, talk about your recent competition in the Ironman. And for our viewers out there, 140.6 I know is the key number for you. Tell us about that competition, if you would.
Well, 140.6 miles, but it's 3 events basically wrapped up into one event. So it's a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike ride, and a 26.2 mile run, all completed in one day. Start at 7 o'clock and you have till midnight to finish. So it's quite a daunting task.
Now, what was your motivation? Obviously, it's a daunting task, a daunting sport. I mean, it's a sport to get involved in that. What really was your motivation to start doing that?
So for me, it was a teachable moment. And I was working with my students back at the detention home in 2009, and I was doing a lesson on goal setting. And I was trying to teach my students, who are challenged in many ways, that anything is possible, even considering the fact that you're here, and you may even have to do some time. It's still not the end of the world, and you still could reach your goals. And so my students challenged me to do what they thought was an seemingly impossible goal, and go out there and do it, and basically be a living example to them. And because I'm the health and PE teacher, they wanted me to do something physical.
Right.
And so I thought the marathon would be the challenge. And my students back then were like, no, with a certain amount of training, you could probably knock that out. And so I sarcastically said, what do y'all want me to do, an Ironman? And the rest is history. They found out what an Ironman was, and I said, okay, 2009, I said, I'll do it.
Now, for the Ironman world out there, I mean, going to Hawaii is really the pinnacle of that sport. Tell us about when you went there and kind of what it was like to go to a sport like that.
Well, the Ironman World Championship, there's 2 ways of getting in the race. One is winning your age division in a race somewhere else around the world that's Ironman, and the other way is through the lottery. And so I quickly found out that I probably wasn't going to make it through by winning my age division, so I started putting my name in the hat. And so this year I was one out of 100 people selected in the world to be selected, and I was actually number 98. Hawaii itself was beautiful. It's a gorgeous place. At the same time, when you're there, you're thinking, I've come to the most beautiful place in the world to do one of the most hardest races in the world to do. So it was a wonderful experience.
Now, tell us about obviously, a key part of this obviously is the physical endeavor, but also it's got to be a lot about time management. How do you train, I mean, all 3 sports and get that in to get to that level?
Sure. Well, one thing is you have to have a conversation with your family to begin with. And so there were some conversations with my wife and children, and they understood that, their dad and their husband was, setting out to do this really tough thing. And so there was an understanding right from the get-go that they really supported me. But you do have to really structure your time. And to me, that's what goal setting is.
Right.
You put a goal out there and you really have to structure your time, and you've got to have a deadline and so forth. So there's a lot of hard work, but I swam when I could swim, I biked when I could bike, and I ran when I could run. And there was other times when if I couldn't do it, I just couldn't get it in. But the times that I could get it in, I made sure that it counted. And so I put forth a lot of effort.
We've only got about 20 seconds left, but tell us your living example of this. What did it mean when you went back into the class and said you did live up to your goal?
Sure. I think the kids were a little bit in awe for the first couple of days of it, but since it's been about a month now, I'm back to being just Mr. Hughes, the PE teacher. So yeah. I think that a lot of the kids were in awe of it, but now it's time for me to really, now that I've done this, now it's time for you to go do yours.
Right. Well, congratulations
Thank
to
you.
And thanks to our viewers. Please join us next time. We're about Chesterfield County Public Schools.